Creative inquiry is undergraduate research that is student-led.
It's already helping me out with my career. It's gotten me in the door.
The experience that I've gained from interacting with CEOs of the local entrepreneurship conferences has been incredible.
It was a deciding factor when I decided to come to Clemson.
Because it gives you that real-world, hands-on engineering experience that you might not get in your classes.
Creative inquiry is a really valuable asset to Clemson.
Creative inquiry is Clemson's take on what other universities call undergraduate research.
Creative inquiry is a project at Clemson where you get teams of undergraduates to work on research, design, and other projects, and they actually take ownership of the projects and lead them. So as a faculty member, I'm just mentoring, but it's really the students' projects that they're working on.
One of the things that we hope to do with creative inquiry is not to tell the students the answer, not to give them the information, but to make them work to solve their own problems. The hardest thing is to sit there and know that these students might be making a mistake or they might be going down the wrong path, and not to try to correct them. You have to let them fail sometimes to learn. So that's what real life is all about.
These students work in small teams, usually 8 to 10 students each. They work over multiple semesters, and they're pursuing an idea or the answer to a question that is genuine, that's authentic, that they really do want to find the answer to. Not just doing a project, but finding an answer. So the name Creative Inquiry really evolved from the curiosity, the creativity, and the idea of not being afraid to ask very difficult questions, and in many cases not being afraid to fail.
This creative inquiry is called Remodeling Medical Training Simulators, and we formed a company with it called MeduSims, so that's pretty exciting. This is special because it allows physicians to practice a very risky medical procedure. This procedure costs about $2 billion a year in medical healthcare costs from being performed wrong. And so we'd like physicians to be able to practice on a simulator rather than a live patient. I am a senior undergraduate student at Clemson University. I've been working on this project for 2.5 years, and I would like to work in industry, just help get the products out there that can save people's lives.
It's been really exciting to see not just the development of the project and how it's pretty much launching into something pretty big, but also seeing the students and how the students have gone from freshmen and sophomores to having professional careers.
Undergraduate students are thinking about research. They're thinking about how to apply what they learn in the classroom to solve real-world problems. And that's what creative inquiry really is all about, is engaged learning and taking your knowledge out to the world.
Many of our creative inquiries have turned into projects that are international. Delphine Dean's group working in Tanzania.
This is a neck brace that was made out of grafts from Tanzania, woven by the women that live in Tanzania. And this is important because currently they don't have neck braces for people that have neck injuries. So we're trying to make neck braces that they can make out of products that are already in Tanzania. And it also stimulates their economy, which is an added plus, and it'll help people get back to work and get them back up on their feet quicker.
These are the strips I printed today, and I cut them smaller because I printed a lot more and to do testing duplicates to get a concentration gradient. Most developing countries depend on outside sources for donated medical supplies. And this works for some things, but with glucometers that are used to test diabetes, each glucometer only works with a specific test strip. So if they aren't donated in a pair, neither one can be used. Our solution is to design something that they can produce in-country rather than relying on an outside source.
I think it's really special that I get to be involved so young. I'm getting to learn a lot from Kayla that she has learned in her time here, and I'm obviously not an engineering major, so it's really fun for me to get to learn something that otherwise I wouldn't have any experience in.
Creative inquiry deliberately pulls in students from different disciplines. We encourage projects in creative inquiry to be multidisciplinary, to have students within the project who may come from very disparate disciplines.
Being able to work across those disciplines and doing that and having the practice of doing it while you're in school seems to me to be a really smart way of developing the talent that we get on our doorstep every year.
They'll highlight the historical parts or the beautiful parts of Clemson, and if they take an Instagram picture and tag our Twitter account there, that they will be entered. By the time I graduate, I will have 2 experiences in creative inquiry, which I'm incredibly fortunate to have. I am genuinely confident. I feel so strongly equipped with an education and with the experience of Clemson to go out there and to stand out among, the Harvard grads, among other schools, amazing schools. Creative inquiry has been such a key and crucial part of that because it is different, and it's something that Clemson uniquely offers that not many other schools have comparable programs to this. We have clients that we work with. It's not just classroom experience. We are working for a client, we are doing research for that client, and we are working in the real world to discover how we can actually make a tangible difference.
I think that confidence is a wonderful byproduct. I'm not sure we necessarily made that the key driver, but the result has been, yeah, there's no problem I can't tackle. You can't give me something that I don't know how to put together a team and try to solve.
That's good. Okay, I'm hitting it. Yeah. The other one?
There we go.
Should be good.
This is for our creative inquiry, is robotics and bioengineering, and it's really to see how robotics can play a role in bioengineering in general. You take electrical signals from your muscles and you run the cars with it, and in the long run it could help with prosthetics. When I put my resume up against somebody else's, it can really help me and get a job. And in the long run, I do want a job after I graduate.
Creative inquiry needs outside investments. We need donors to become involved in it. I think the donors who have been involved and continue to be involved are pleased with what they see. It's nice because the donor knows that there's a project that they have funded and that the students have some sort of relationship with them. I think that's good. That's a good way to work. We also need donors to fund just basic operating funds for creative inquiry.
I would really like to see a lot more businesses and industry people bring us their ideas. Industry can support a creative inquiry team. It's $2,500 a semester. That's not a lot of money to get a group of 8 very talented students to look into a project.
My goal is to see every Clemson student have a creative inquiry experience before he or she graduates.
And the results are amazing. I mean, patents discovered, major presentations at major national meetings, publications that students are actually doing that even graduate students have a hard time accomplishing it. And it's made Clemson a very attractive place to come study.
Thomas Green Clemson is probably your first example of creative inquiry at Clemson University. When he looked at the land and he looked at the destruction and he said, what can I do to fix this? That was a creative inquiry question. And look what he created. He created Clemson University as an answer to that question.